Hey, it's Anthony Amatrano here on EduPower Tools, showing you a quick overview of tools available in Google Docs. So up here on my screen here, you see that I have a blank untitled Google document. If you wanted to change the title, you just really, it's very easy. You just click right on here and change the title name. Just type in whatever you would like to do that to. And then you start writing. So basically, what I'm going to do is go through each of these tools here. I'm going to use some sample text. I'm going to throw some sample text in here. Actually, I'm going to get that sample text right now and throw that in here. This is just some easy, some lorem ipsum text, Latin stuff that you see a lot of times when you have just like a sample page to kind of show formatting and things like that. So there's some lorem ipsum text here, and basically I'm going to use this to kind of demonstrate some various things. So first thing here is the undo button, and so if I wanted to get rid of that text very easily, I would just click the undo button and it would go away. If I made a mistake and I didn't really want to get rid of that text, then I can hit the redo button here and it's going to come back. So that's pretty straightforward there for you. The next button is the print button. So that's going to allow you to bring up the print dialog and choose the printer and the various settings associated with that. This is the toggle for the spelling and grammar check. So if you wanted to turn off the spelling and grammar check, say you're working in a foreign language that you don't normally work in, or you just want to turn off all the squiggly lines while you're working and then check everything at the end, you can turn that on and off right there. Here's your paint format tool. So if you have embedded a drawing into your document, you can change the formatting of the painted document, the drawing document that you have in there. Next is the zoom button. So it's at 100% by default, and you can change that by just clicking this. You need to make it bigger, choose a higher number, and it makes it big. If you want to see the whole page, you can turn it down to 50% there, and you see the whole page. I generally like to have it fit, so it goes across the whole screen there. It takes up all this real estate that you can see there. And then the next button here is my favorite button. It sets the style of the various sections and stuff that you might have in your document. So say you're creating a document for your classroom, maybe it's your class handbook or a school handbook, or just grading policies, a syllabus or something like that. You can use this button here and the various styles that they have available in here to help really make each section very clear and easily readable for your audience. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to indent some things here. I'm just going to hit some enters and get this going for you so you can see what I mean. So basically what you would do is you'd select the text that you wanted to change the style of. So for instance, it would make this be the title. So I'm going to select it, go up to this menu here and click on title. That's going to make it really big. So instead of changing the font size manually or making it bold as you might traditionally do, you have these kind of preset styles in here that Google gives you, which you are able to customize too, and I'll show you that in a minute here. But anyway, I selected this text and set that to be title. I'm going to select this text here. I'm going to set that to be heading, heading 1. And you'll see same thing, so it changes the font size. And again, we can change that to other font styles if we wanted to do that. I'm going to do that, this heading 1 for all of these other little headings that I have made here. So again, selecting the text, going up to that menu, and selecting heading 1. And so what we could do just to kind of make this a little bit more clear is say this is a class handbook that we're making. So I'm going to change this text to class handbook. And the first paragraph is maybe an overview of your course. So we'll call this course overview. And then the next section maybe is grading policies. So we can change that to be grading policies. And then the next section maybe would be homework expectations. The reason why I do that is just to make it clear as to what's the big deal about this. Why is this so exciting? So this is interesting because what it does is Google automatically takes this information, it creates an outline for the document for you, and that's what this button is over here. So you click on Show Document Outline, and it shows you the title, gives you the different headings that you have down here. And this is good because it allows your audience to easily select the information that they need. So if this is something that you're sharing with your parents or sharing with your students, and they want to quickly go to the homework expectations, they can go to this outline, click on homework expectations, and it brings it right up over here on the right. So it's kind of like a table of contents for you, and Google just really makes it very easy to access that. So that's why I like that very much. I mentioned before that you can customize your heading. So say you don't like this generic Arial font here, and you want to change it to be something a little more interesting. We'll change it to Lobster. And say I want to make it just a little bit bigger. I'm going to change the font size here, and I want to underline it. Okay, so now what I've done is I've customized this title. If you go to here, you see that it's still just this normal Arial. What I want to do is I want to make that be the format for every single title that I have for every document that I ever make, just to make it consistent and make it aesthetically pleasing. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I am going to update the style to match. So update title to match. So I'm going to click on that. And that's going to take the edits that I made here, and it's going to save that as the default. So now every time that I have a title, it's going to choose that Lobster format. It's going to choose 30 font, and it's going to be underlined every time I do title. And you can do the same thing for your headings. Change the font style. Say I wanted that to be impact. Same thing. So you selected the text, you changed what you wanted to change, and then I'm going to update heading 1 to match like that. So that's kind of neat. So now, even though I have already, and then because these are all heading 1s, they all take on that same style. Just makes it look nice. Next block here in the toolbar is your font settings. So you can change your fonts by selecting some of the fonts that are put in here by default by Google. You can also add some more fonts by clicking on more fonts here. It gives you lots of choices, especially with younger grades. Sometimes teachers like to have like traditional, like handwriting type fonts which you have in here, like Indie Flower, or let's see, what are some other nice ones? Shadows into Light, that's already selected, that's fine. But you just might just to have some variety in your creations, you can select some different fonts. So I added some different fonts there. I just kind of clicked on them, and it turned them blue and gave them a little check mark. And so here it shows the fonts that I have selected to add into my default list of fonts. So I've checked all those, they're here. I'm going to click OK. And now they're going to show up in my list of fonts, in addition to the default ones that were already in there. So, so that's just kind of neat, like I said, to make add to your creative tools in creating your document and formatting your document. Here's your font size. You have your default font size settings here. You can type in any number, and you can do fractions of numbers. So I could do 11.5 and put that in there, and it will change the font size to that. So if you want something in between, say you don't want 24, you don't want 30, you want something in between, you want 26 or 27, you can just type in the number there, and it will change the font to that size. Here's your bold, italics, underline. This next button here changes the color of the font. So we're going to change that. We can change that to red. Changes the font there. This button here does highlight. So if there is text in your document that you want to highlight, to make it stand out a little bit more, you can select the text, click the highlight color, choose the color, and there you go. Your text is highlighted there. Next one is your link. So say you want to link to a class website or a resource or something that you want your students to use. You can select some text, insert the link here, and you can type in pretty much any website. It's going to automatically search it for you and try and find it. So here I just typed in google.com. It's very easy. You click on the link here, hit apply, and then the link is in your document. So you're turning your document into not just something flat and static that you are sending out to your audience. It's making it interactive and giving them a quick access to the extra tools that you might be suggesting that they use. All right, and so the next thing down here on the toolbar is the comment button. This is a great tool to use when you're collaborating on a document and working with other people to get some feedback on the document. So basically what you do with comments is you select some text. So we'll select some text here, and then we're going to go to the comment button. You notice this, if you didn't notice, this popped up over here too. This does the same thing. It just appeared. So I'm going to click that one too. And what that does is that opens up a little window here on the side where you can add some comments like that. And then you click comment, and it sticks there and stays there. It tells you who wrote it, when they wrote it, what the comment is, and then you as a collaborator can kind of check it out and see if it's something that you want to fix or change, or maybe the reason why you had it that way or whatever. And you can continue to have a conversation about that here in this box. Once it's resolved, you click on resolve and the comment goes away. So that's how commenting works. You can see the history of comments up here. It shows what the text was that was selected, what the comment was here originally, what the dialogue was as it continues down there, and then that it was marked resolved here. That's the comment history button there. Here is where you can insert an image. So basically, the kind of cool thing about this particular button is that you can upload it from your computer. So if you know you have a picture or an image that you want to upload from your computer, you can do that here. You can add it from your Google Drive, Google Photos, by URL if you happen to have that, or if you have a camera-enabled device, you can use the camera to do that. The neatest thing here is the search the web feature. Normally what I do, for whatever reason, is I open up a Google tab, another tab in Chrome, search the web for a picture that I'm looking for, download it to my computer, and then upload it to the Google Drive. I don't know why I do that, because now you have this search the web feature here. Click on that, search the web, say you're doing a paper on cheetahs or something like that. You can, hang on a second. Oops, I don't like that. Okay, hang on, there we go. So Google Images. So you're gonna search for images here. I just wanna make sure you can see that. So I'm gonna search for cheetah. And you get a bunch of results here. Say I like this picture here. I'm gonna click on it. It's selected, and I would like to move this. Cool, I'm gonna move this over here. So it's selected, and then I'm going to insert it into the document. And it goes right in there. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Nice way to just search the internet, fire an image that you like, stick it in there. All right, so that's the insert button here. The next buttons are for alignment. So you have left align, center, right align, and justify. That's pretty self-explanatory. This is your line spacing button here, so you can set it to do double space, single space, a space and a half, things like that. This is your numbered list button, so you can select which kind of number list you'd like to have. And this is your bulleted list button here, where you can select what kind of bullets you'd like to have. You can decrease the indent, increase the indent here. This button is very useful if you're copying and pasting from another website. Sometimes or another document, sometimes the formatting can get off a little bit and look funny in with the formatting that you have already set up in your document here. So once you do paste text from another place, you want it to kind of match the formatting of the document, what you do is select the text that you pasted in there and then hit this button here. This is to clear the formatting. So this is going to get rid of the highlighting and the linking that is in here, or at least it should. So it didn't get rid of the linking, but it got rid of the highlighting, and it changed the font size. Okay, so the font size was at 10.5, and it moved it up to 11. And that's what normal text is, Arial 11. So there you go, that's what that button does there. This next button is kind of neat. It changes the editing mode. So when you create a document that you are generally in editing mode right off the bat, you can change it to suggesting mode. And what that does is, instead of deleting the text as it would in editing mode, it's going to cross it out and type in the new text to the left of it. So it's going to look like this. This is the text. There it is. Okay, so you see the old text here is crossed out. Here's the new text, and it also opened up a comment over here where it says replace this verbiage with this verbiage. If you like that, you can hit check mark, and that's going to make this stuff go away, and it's going to put in the accepted material instead. There you go. And that also, I believe, shows up in your comment history. It does down here. Actually, right there. Yes. Comments history is in reverse chronological order, so the most recent stuff is at the top, and then the older stuff is towards the bottom. All right, and then the last editing mode is viewing. That's if you just want to share a document and view it, okay? If you don't want the person to edit it, or if you're displaying this to the class, you don't need all the editing tools, you can just put it in viewing mode, so then you know you're not gonna delete anything by accident or change anything that you don't want to change. Last thing that I want to go over here is the share button, okay? It's this big blue button in the upper right-hand corner. Currently, it's in private mode, so it's private and viewable only to me. If you click this, it gives you some different options. Depending on how your district is set up, or if you're using a personal Gmail account, you might have some different options. But this is where you would type in email addresses of people that you want to share it with. You could select if you want to have them be able to edit it or comment it. Hey man.
I saw. Did you get your answer?
So for Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what I did was it's working now.
Yeah.
I went and sat over on that side. Worked fine.
Yeah.
Worked on a little bit. Brought it back over here, and it seemed like it was fine. So I don't know if my computer is getting confused, like trying to ping both.
It shouldn't.
I know it shouldn't.
It shouldn't do that. It'll pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But you had got some. I didn't know if you had the password, so we gave you the password.
Yeah. Yes, I had that. Yeah.
It's just been I've been running around like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't even worry about it.
Next rest of the week is going to be nuts. Yeah. I would say if you want me, the best way to get a hold of me is email.
Okay.
Because I'm on the fly. I'm all over the
Great.
place. Yeah. So yeah, I am.
Yeah. It wasn't a rush.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
No worries. Okay. Awesome.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have clicked on the blue button, it opens up this window, and you're going to enter in the email addresses here, and then select whether you want them to be able to edit it, comment only on it, or just view it. So viewing only is really nice if you have like a class newsletter or a permission slip or something like that that you just want your audience to be able to view and not edit at all. Can comment is nice if you're collaborating with people, but generally you don't want them to have full editing rights to it, so they can select text and make comments on it and make suggestions that you could change. And then editing just gives them full, flat-out editing rights on the document. If you want to share just a link, you can do that. You just click on Get Shareable Link, and it's going to do that. By default, Google Suite for Education accounts, which are most school districts, what most school districts have, just set it up so that it stays within the organization, so you can only share within Northbridge Public Schools. That's the district that I work for. You can change that by clicking on this and clicking More, and that will allow you to share it with people, with the public, or turn it off if you ultimately want to turn it off. That's that. So I hope you found this informative, and if you have any other questions about Google Docs, please let me know. I'll do some more in-depth videos to show you some more cool tricks in Google Docs in the future. Thanks so much. Have a great day.